Is it gauges or plugs? Let's go over alternative names for body jewelry. Plugs and gauges are two different things. Gauges refer to the jewelry measuring system, and plugs are the type of jewelry worn in stretched lobes, and it's measured in gauge in the US. People use them interchangeably. When you say you're looking for gauges, we understand you mean plugs. What about tunnels and eyelets? They're the same thing. Now for labrettes. A labret piercing is a piercing below the lip, and labret jewelry can also be worn in this piercing. This is a labret stud, and it has a flat back disc, which is why it's also known as a flat back stud. Or, if you have a threadless labret, then it's also known as a push pin stud. Septum? A septum is the piercing location, and the type of jewelry worn in a septum can be clickers, captives, and more. Since septum piercings have become so popular, septum has become a catch-all for all the jewelry worn in this piercing. What about dermals and anchors? A dermal is the piercing, and the anchor is the jewelry used in it. Now let's go over some other body jewelry that means the same thing. Nose screws are also called nose hooks, or nose twister, or twist nose rings. A nose bone is also called a nose stud. This is a clicker ring. It's also called a hinged segment ring or segment hoop ring. A seamless ring is also called a hoop ring, seam ring, or continuous ring. A captive bead ring is also known as a CBR, or captive for short. This is a circular barbell, but it's also referred to as a horseshoe. This is a floating navel, and it's the same thing as a top-down navel. For regular navel jewelry, people may also refer to it as belly button rings or belly ring, even if the jewelry isn't a ring. And that's a wrap on the different names that body jewelry is called. Hopefully it helps make your shopping easier.